Welcome back to another episode of It's All Been Tracked Before. This time, the Mark of Gideon. You understand what that title means. Clearly, when you listen, you'll know we do not. Speaking of things you should know all about, this weekend it's back, the flagship, the mothership. It's the All Been Done Radio Hour Halloween show, October 13th, Mad Lab, 5:30. Tickets on sale, madlab.net. You know what it is. It's an updated version of the old radio serials. Live at Mad Lab, 5:30. Opening for them, The Sick World of Dr. Show. So make sure you get there early, 5:15, to check that out. Tickets, like I said, madlab.net. While you're on the internet, patreon.com/IABD. It supports us. It makes you feel better. You get special bonuses, special extra tent. So check that out. Also, Quarterly Book Club. It's the fourth quarter. They've done several quarters. We're in the fourth quarter of 2018. You know that now. They're going to be reading. They're going to be talking about it. Check it out. I don't have the title in front of me. I know it's juicy. Go check it out. It's the Quarterly Book Club. If you haven't done the other three, that's 3 other books to read. And you know what? Christmas is coming up. It's a great gift idea. I know it's coming up in 2 months. Anyway, what's coming up right now is the Mark of Gideon on It's All Been Trekked Before.
Welcome out to another episode of It's All Been Trekked Before. We have, again, our most skeleton of skeleton crews.
We are in the dog days of season 3. Yes, this is Stephen.
Everybody's abandoned us. Jimmy-Jerome.
It is bleak and desolate.
I mean...
what did they keep saying in this episode? Desperate.
Desperate.
It is desperate times in season 3 of It's All Been Trekked Before.
Yep. This one, Mark of Gideon. Kirk beams down on the planet Gideon and appears to find himself trapped on a deserted Enterprise. Spock on the real Enterprise must use his diplomatic skills to deal with the uncooperative inhabitants of Gideon and find the captain. I almost fell asleep just reading that description.
Yeah, it even at its best points, it's not exactly action-packed.
That's not the problem.
No.
There are some non-action-packed episodes I really like.
There are.
But no, I mean, several times over there I just had to shake myself awake because I was falling asleep on the couch watching this episode. And it's not like it's late at night.
Yeah, and we'll get into it deeper, but even the...
Will we?
No, probably not. Even the resolution isn't like...
No.
It's just kind of like, here you go. All right, we're done. Bye.
So, I think the beginning setup made no sense. I think the ending resolution made no sense. Everything in the middle kind of made sense if you could suspend disbelief on the beginning and end, but it wasn't interesting.
There's a lot that doesn't make sense, and we discussed before that we were watching that I had almost no memory of this episode. Even when I researched it, I always skip over the plot, when I'm looking at whatever, Wikia or whatever. Even seeing the pictures and the O'Donna and the woman who played her, I'm like, nope, no recollection at all, or very little recollection. I remembered the head of the council, the head of the council of Gideon. That was about it.
So O'Donna was played by Sharon Acker.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing she's second best known for, after Happy Birthday to Me, a 1981 movie.
Yeah.
That I've never heard of. She's got 80 credits.
Yeah, she did some other, bunch of guest TV
stuff. She did some soap opera stuff in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Apparently she's still alive.
Yeah.
From Toronto.
All right. Another Canadian.
Yeah, her and Shatner should bond over that.
A lovely lady. I mean, even that said...
I mean, I liked her best the first seconds I saw her.
Well... Part of the, then they're, okay, so he beams down, he's on another Enterprise, which is ridiculous. And
sure,
we also have done that episode, the Tholian Web, and...
See, that's where I saw the empty Enterprise, I'm like, I've seen this before. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. We've seen Kirk by himself on a starship a few times. Is it Doomsday Machine where he's on the other starship? Or is it...
Yep. I think Doomsday Machine, he's on there for a while.
Okay, and I was trying to remember the one...
Because he goes to the other Constitution Buster.
Yeah.
And then there's, of course, the one where Daystrom...
Ultimate Computer. Yeah.
They've got very few people on the Enterprise.
Yes.
So those are probably what I'm thinking of, not this episode.
And what was the one where everyone
Zoe agrees. She's got lots to say. So, I mean, just from the beginning, this planet, Gideon, wants to join the Federation. But nobody's allowed to come here. You're not allowed to scan us.
Right.
And the Federation says, okay. And then they're like, and we demand to see just Kirk, only Kirk, nobody else. Okay, sure. Why would the Federation do that?
And I feel like that's happened before, too, where they're like, nope, only one of you can come down, and then something bad happens. It's like...
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think... And Starfleet's all like, oh, it's out of our hands. We gotta do whatever the Federation says. And I'm like, Federation, there's a lot that goes into Federation membership. They're not desperate to take Federation membership. They're not just gonna accept these people saying, we want to join, but you can't know anything about us.
Doesn't Kirk say later something about, you promised us a planet of paradise and opportunity or something? So I don't, but yeah,
because they give their own reports. It's like, oh yeah, I scored an A on this test. Can I see what your answers? No, just trust me, I scored an A. I'm the perfect candidate for this job or for the Federation. So that part made absolutely no sense to me at all.
There are many things that make no sense. Just to get back to him being on the Enterprise beginning, it's like, and not having to remember the episode, it was kind of like, okay, why are they here? And then she shows up. It's like, okay, who is she? Yeah. But I was pretty sure it has something to do with Gideon, and they kept tipping that right away. Like, we know they're there.
I mean, the Ambassador Hoden, played by David Hurst, was not very good at denying things.
No.
Like, you could tell he was lying from the beginning, I thought.
Pretty much his diplomacy was, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
Well, and Spock saying, well, I'm pretty sure I did. No, you didn't.
Okay, so there's that, but then there's this whole thing of, oh, diplomats are like bureaucrats. They speak in circles, and nothing ever happens. They're just manipulative of their words.
I did agree. I enjoyed Spock's shade. Everybody else on the Enterprise, though, it was the same old... It was the same old Commodore McCoy stuff of, well, aren't we going to do anything? Why are we just staying here?
I didn't like the way they were throwing shade on diplomats so much. I'm like, you're part of the Federation. The Federation, like, their whole thing is diplomacy. And you're just going to say, oh, diplomats suck. We're not going to listen to them.
Right.
Although I did chuckle a little bit when McCoy's like, talking to Spock about, oh, you almost could have been a career diplomat. And Spock says, oh, don't give up hope. But he says it, like, not jokingly. He says it serious, which is funny because he becomes a diplomat in his later life.
His dad's
his dad is, which we would know.
Yeah.
But then Spock becomes Ambassador Spock after his tenure in Starfleet.
Well, there you go.
So...
So
that also confused me why he was throwing such shade on the diplomats.
Well, and I liked his line about, the object of diplomacy is to prolong a crisis.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's more of a social commentary of the time, 60s as opposed
Vietnam.
to now. Yeah.
But I didn't like it. I didn't get it. It didn't feel like it gelled with the Federation as we know it.
I liked those parts just because it was Spock using logic. I just thought he didn't like their particular brand of diplomacy. He was speaking more to that, to me, than anything else. I enjoyed those two lines, even though I get what you're saying.
I feel like
in context,
if they had like a really deep, complex battle of the minds between between Hoden and Spock, that would have been really cool. That's not what they did. They half-assed it at best.
That was the part of the episode I liked more than the rest, though, was Spock. I like when Spock's in command and is just being logical. I'm not sure. I guess it is logical that he decided to go down and violate orders.
Yeah, because he knew
he figured it out.
Yeah.
One of the notes I saw was they didn't understand how Spock didn't figure out the difference in the coordinates sooner, because I did. But now, granted, it all happened. It didn't happen in real time for me, but.
Well, I was wondering how do coordinates work exactly? And
this is the first time I remember hearing. I mean, I'm sure they use them, but obviously
the aide they beamed up was standing behind the desk, and they were supposedly going to beam Kirk. I would assume in front of the desk.
Right.
So would those coordinates be slightly different?
That's true.
What I was expecting when he figured out that was, those coordinates are 50 meters apart or whatever, because there's going to be some math behind it. So that should lead him to believe, that was right outside the council chamber.
Right.
So that was close by.
Right.
Which isn't what they were going with.
Right.
They were just like, they're different. Yeah, no, of course they're different, but,
Yeah, well, my thought was, why wouldn't they just beam down like a box or something?
Yeah.
Did you get our gift bag we sent to you?
I mean, I didn't like how they were like, you can beam down after you beam somebody else up. Oh, I didn't say that. Well, I changed my mind. Like, no.
Well, that's what I said. It was just a kind of, I didn't say that. No, you did. I didn't. No, I didn't. Which I guess, to be fair, that's essentially the way the U.S. government operates right now. So, well, we don't know. By this time...
Oh, God, don't say it again. We've done that since season 1. By the time the series Trump's out of office...
I wasn't going to say it. I was just going to allude to it. I was going to say it.
Why was Spock the one beaming Kirk anyway from the beginning instead of Transformation?
Good question.
I thought from the beginning, I'm like, limited budget. Yeah. We're going to just repeat the Enterprise sets.
Which is why they did that. And even when they do the shots of Kirk on the fake Enterprise calling around, and they show. I just love that they show an empty engineering, and
why'd they build the whole ship? Why not just lock him on the bridge?
It makes no sense.
Lock him on the bridge, lock him in the transporter room, build one room.
Would it matter? Yeah, would it matter where they sent him?
First of all, how'd they get the detail right in every room? Like, we went to Kirk's quarters, and they knew where all his stuff was.
Right.
Like, oh, that's that pen I left there this morning. It's right there.
The entire ship they had. Yeah, exactly.
Like, if he'd gone into Yeoman Joe Blow's quarters, it would have been the same too.
Right. And I know the writer Stanley Adams, who was Cyrano Jones, wrote this, or is one of the co-writers.
Cyrano Jones of Triple Tribbles.
Yeah.
One of the best episodes of the series.
Yeah, he and his son.
George F. Slavin.
And I know his son didn't help him with it, but I guess his son had kind of inspired. He wanted to deal with the idea of overpopulation, and Stanley Adams was very interested. But anyway, and I couldn't find it. I just did a quick search, but I guess what he wrote and what made it to air was drastically different according to him and his son.
Good.
So they were very disappointed.
Makes me feel better for him.
Yeah. And actually, somebody said that there was another thing where somebody's like, "Well, he's not a good actor either." I disagree. I thought he's a funny actor. Yeah, he is. So they're like, so he shouldn't write either. And somebody's like, yeah, he said this isn't the script he wrote, which I really believe. Well, we know a lot of scripts get scripts in all show business do, but in this case, Freddie Freeburger though he thought the show turned out great.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
That's tells you right there what was wrong with season 3.
Exactly. That's exactly what was wrong.
The overpopulation thing, interesting concept. But to describe it as, they're covering every mountain. Even in your own house, there's lots of people. There's not like a private bathroom.
Right.
There's not a private place to procreate. There's not, where do you grow your food?
Right.
I can go on and on about all the problems with this.
It was literally a planet where people were just bumping into each other and walking in circles.
That was ridiculous. And then every time we looked out the council chambers and we saw everybody bumping in. And you threw the thing in the Enterprise. Well, you can go to the Enterprise, but you have to wear green if you run to the Enterprise. If you're getting close. That just did not make sense.
No,
at all.
It was a very simplistic way to
I like the idea of no disease, and that's why it's getting overpopulated.
Right.
Long lifespans, but they still would not be on top of each other.
And they were a very pro-life planet, clearly. They believed in the sacredness of life.
Sure.
Even though they were going to introduce a virus to kill everybody.
Because the Jesuits always got into space first. They got to Gideon before the Federation.
Well, and not only are they pro-life, they don't believe in an abstinence program. They're like, no, create more life. They're like, well, we don't want to stop that either. It's so precious. So really, they're like, make as many babies as you can, and even though they're never going to die. And
the solution, and we don't even have doctors, so apparently birth, and they don't know what pain is.
Right.
So apparently birth is painless and easy, and never has complications.
And I guess that explains it too. And then somebody else was saying that, well, why wouldn't they just go to another planet? Can't they?
Right, colonize other planets.
Because they're good enough to know how to build a starship.
Well, to be in the Federation, they would have had to have faster than light travel.
Yeah, so why wouldn't a lot of them just move? And again, I know they were trying to address this problem. Obviously, there are better ways to illustrate that.
Yeah, the window of 20 people milling about and bumping into one another was pretty awful.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they didn't have the Blade Runner budget for an episode of television, but still, there's... And none of the solution didn't really make sense, because essentially they decided, well, they're going to use her... McCoy cures her, but she's still got the virus in her blood, so they can go down and infect everybody else. What?
Well, that's what they took the virus from Kirk, and instead of just infecting a bunch of people, they're just like, okay, first we're going to just infect her, so we can make her a symbol. And then Kirk has to stay because we can't use her blood. I don't get it. It didn't make...
No, yeah, they were going to keep him forever. It's like, why don't you just take a little bit...
And they're like, oh, well, it sounded like their plan was, okay, she's going to die a martyr, and then we're going to do something ceremonial with the body so we can't take the blood from it. Then we're going to get volunteers to come in, young people, hopefully, that come to us and say, that's a great idea, I want to die too, infect me. And then Kirk has to infect that. That's how it sounded, because they said, we want the young people to step up and...
Well, I was going to say, it looked like nobody aged there, but maybe if you never get sick, you don't age.
I mean, O'Donna's father was older.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Everybody else is in ball caps. Did you notice that?
They were all in hoodies.
Some of them had the hoods, but the people in the council chambers that weren't wearing hoodies were all in ball caps except for him.
Oh, they did have...
He was the only one with hair. A lot of them have facial hair.
I don't know if you recognize our old friend Ben Childress was one of the council.
No, I did
From
not.
Mud's Women, yeah.
Okay. That was 2 seasons ago.
He's the guy who beamed up.
Krodak G. Donarski?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that I see his picture. No, I did not recognize him. I mean, he's got some better credits.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have
Close
recognized...
Encounters, All the President's Men.
I wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't obviously done some research, but
See,
actually my alternate episode is about the bald guy on the other side, bald Eric Idle, just his life at home with his 37 roommates. Because, on Gideon, there's no room, so...
Well, it looked like the council got a little more space.
Yeah, it didn't make no sense.
My alternate episode was Kirk beams down, and there's a guy who goes, "Hey guys, welcome to Gideon, I'm Mark." And he's the Mark of Gideon.
And yeah.
And it would have been a better episode.
What did it actually mean, the Mark? What is the Mark of Gideon?
Yes. Don't know.
It's a generic name, and yeah, that's why I don't remember that.
While we're talking about ball caps, you want to do your fashion?
Yes, fashion.
So, what do you think of O'Donna's outfits?
You know what? I really liked it. I liked it in the way that it's one of Bill Tice's. I'm pretty sure.
Bill Tice, Tice.
That it doesn't show a ton of skin, but yet it's still very.
So it had
to me, it was very alluring.
It had like the underwear outline.
Yes.
And then shredded burlap sack through the rest of it.
Yeah.
It was very uncomfortable.
I liked it.
I thought it was cool looking.
Yeah, I thought it looked good on it. She made it look good as well, and so I thought I liked it.
And then we had the council.
The council had the weird.
I call them the Settlers of Catan outfits because it's like the little blocks of
the octagons and everything. Yeah.
6-sided.
Yeah.
But they were clearly like the higher ranked you were, the more you had.
Yeah.
Because the ambassador had a bunch of them, and he had like the river going down the middle.
Yeah.
And a couple of them were colored. But then like his 1/8 had quite a few, but not as many, and then the one only had a few. So it was very much like the dress uniform little badges. Like the higher ranking had more.
Yeah, those were okay. And then everybody else on the planet had hoodies. Yeah.
They were very much like extras in a Shakespeare play, the Greek chorus.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I will say one of the other things I actually like is that first shot of all of them watching is kind of creepy.
It is, and then there's a weird direction where the camera turns away and then back to the...
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah, and I wish the payoff from that would have been better. That, it's like, this is creepy. And then, and who were those people? Was that the junior council? They get to watch?
I mean, I felt like they should have done that better. The people we saw milling out the Gideon Council, milling outside, if they had just done that in front of the TV screen, which first of all, there should have been at least twice as many people in that room. Why aren't they grabbing all the crew grips and putting them in hoods and saying, here, we need to fill this in more?
Right.
It really was how they're describing, which, as we mentioned, is totally unrealistic anyway. But if they just been milling out instead of like on risers facing in.
I mean, is it possible that Gideon is like the size of like the moon or something smaller, like a small moon?
That's a good question.
And that's why it's that packed?
That's a good question.
I just started thinking about the Earth with like, we have an overpopulation problem. There's still plenty of room.
Or is that the problem that they've all moved to the moon and they're using the planet to grow all their food because there's so many people? So they're bringing the food up.
See, now you have
we're starting to solve some of the unrealistic parts.
Now you have an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Or more interesting, I should say.
There were plenty of ways to make this interesting.
Yeah, I thought so. And
I liked her line, all my life I've dreamed of being alone.
Yeah.
Which, to me, I'm like, that's my wife's dream. Morgan would love to just, like, one other person, be alone, not dealing with everybody. And then the way Gideon would have been her hell, that she was crowded in with people at all times.
But no, that for me, some of that early stuff is good, and then the payoff just isn't enough. Unfortunately, I don't even hate this episode. It's just not that great. It's okay, I guess. That's
we'll get to ranking in a minute.
Yeah,
but we've got some more notes.
We do.
There was a very weird line too, where Spock was talking about wars are no longer prevalent in our galaxy. Yeah, and I'm like, what about the Romulans? What about the Klingons?
That's what
that didn't seem legit.
Well, as Spock said of the head of the council, maybe perhaps you were not precise, which Spock's words for you're a liar, and I like that actually too. So.
No, he was definitely a liar. I thought it was interesting how Kirk looked down to space and just goes, I don't recognize this quadrant.
Yeah.
Because even if you recognize, like, if you're on Earth You might recognize certain parts of the night
Big
sky,
Dipper.
but constellations
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But you're on a spaceship. Your perspective constantly shifting. Where
Right.
the stars are is constantly shifting. And he knows the whole galaxy from every angle. I did not buy that at all. Spock's fighting style, apparently you can just throw somebody unconscious without their head hitting the wall or anything. And also, how do these guys know how to fight back anyway? They're supposed to be a totally non-violent planet.
I had that same thought. I was like, who are the guards? Just anyone who's ever the biggest people?
They're like, hey guys, if you agree to be guards, you come in this corridor, there aren't a bunch of people milling about.
Well, that was
okay, I'll do it.
Because that was my other thought. It's like, nobody kills anybody? Because if you lived...
No, because think about it. If you murdered somebody and there's always people milling about you, you've got 20 witnesses. And you kill them, you've got 500 witnesses.
Well, but here's my thing is, if I had that many people around me all the time, I would kill somebody. It would drive me even crazy.
Then they'd lock you up in jail. With a bunch of other people.
But I would have killed somebody at least, so that would be a death.
That would. And they sound like they didn't do that.
What they need is their own Codex Executioner.
Yes. Oh, they badly need Codex Executioner.
Why did they just do that? See, that's almost a better solution than what this guy did.
So
I guess I'm debating different forms of genocide.
Genocide. Well, I mean, obviously, that's the only solution such as this. You can't colonize other worlds. Genocide. Best case scenario.
Yeah, there's a lot of poor logic in this episode to the point that it's driving us to debate
genocide.
Which kind of genocide is the better kind.
Do we prefer Hitler's genocide or Trump's genocide? Because by now Trump's surely committing genocide. Why was O'Donna happy to be cured if it was like her whole thing to die?
I didn't understand it, and the worst part of the whole
gave her away a meaning of life.
The worst part, the two worst parts about O'Donna, which I kind of like I said, lovely woman and lovely outfit, but one, her amnesia was really annoying. I don't know.
Oh, it was faked amnesia.
Yeah, which made it even worse. I don't know where I was. Like what? And then her whole. So did she really fall for Kirk? Wasn't the?
It seemed like she did.
Yeah, but it just seemed like that was really. I know it's always sudden in these episodes, but she's calling for James Kirk. Like what?
I mean, I felt like if she was this dedicated, she was willing to die. She would have made a plan and stuck with it, and not been distracted by Kirk.
Yeah, although maybe she. Maybe seeing someone like Kirk compared with all the people on
the only person without hair and a hood, right. Or with hair and without a hood, and then she realizes Kirk's wearing a toupee and it's all over.
So yeah, did she get to have her hair like that because she was the daughter of a council person?
Yes.
Okay.
Or because she was tricking Kirk. I don't know. They made her a special outfit. This is your death outfit.
Well, and they played the lovey-dovey music from the second she appears, doing her her weird space ballet on the fake.
Well,
Enterprise.
That I bought because once we learned about her, like, I got space.
Right.
I'm going to dance around in it.
Right.
Like, nice, because you've never been able to do that before.
No.
That end line she had, as crowded as my planet is, I wish it could hold one more person. That is as cheese as it gets. And I don't buy it, but
no.
I did think Kirk was a little creepy in sickbay after they cured her, and he's like, at least you can give me the privilege of, or at least you owe me the privilege of letting me look at you. And I wanted her to go, #me too. I don't owe you anything. And then she calls him a gentleman for it.
Right.
And you're like, no, that's not being a gentleman. I mean, I get that what they were trying to communicate was he's saying you're lovely and whatever, and that was respectful, but it came across in the modern sensibilities as, I'm going to be creepy and you owe me, like, looking pretty for me.
Well, I don't know if that was creepier or when he took his hands and stroked her earlobes. And
she's not a Ferengi. She doesn't like boombox. We'll get to that. Next gen.
Apparently, earlobes are erogenous zones. And apparently, if you're from Gideon, they're very erogenous. So, or if you're O'Donna, it worked for her. I like that. I don't know if I'd like it, but all Commodores and Admirals, they have the same TV studio where they record their messages.
God.
It's always the same.
Admiral Fitzgerald, who was totally unnecessary in this episode because he cut the scene and it would have been nothing. Played by Richard Dare.
Yeah.
But this is one of his top credits, so
well,
needed the work.
Those bureaucrats are totally unnecessary.
I mean, if you want to complain about bureaucracy, that's fine, but he's... Admiral Fitzgerald, Richard Dare was also Barstow in The Alternative Factor.
Oh.
Apparently.
Okay.
I just saw on IMDb.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Also, in a terrible... That poor guy, he was in 2 of the worst episodes of Star Trek ever made. I'm trying to remember who Barstow was. He must have been a crewman or something. I don't know.
Ben Childress was in Mud's Women, so we got guys coming back from...
Well, they're recycling in season 3.
They are, but it's they're like, hey, maybe this one will be better. Sorry, it's not.
No.
Not
Yeah,
really.
Mud's Women was really bad too. You're right.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Yeah. It was weird they had the thing about Spock's like, this won't take long. And they're like, that's exactly what the captain said. That's also the name of my...
Almost like what the...
That's also the name of my sex tape. This won't take long. That's all I can think of when they said that.
The only other note I had is there were several shots where the picture quality was bad. It had a bunch of fragments on the screen.
Oh.
That's not something you see a lot in here. But there were a lot of like artifacts on the screen, and in one scene it was both camera shots, back and forth,
Yeah.
and then another scene, I think it was the one with the Admiral, it was just the shot of him. And when I went over to the bridge, they disappeared. But it's rare we see that bad quality of footage.
Wow.
On these, but there were like things in the middle of the screen and things that, like graininess that was off. I don't know.
The other weird shots that I noted were when I think it's Kirk's talking to the counselor, and they're shooting it up to the glass table for some reason.
I was fascinated by that. Because they shot him and the counselor.
At first I thought I wasn't paying attention, and for a second I thought they were talking through like a glass, like in a prison.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, nope. They just decided, you know what? Screw it. We're going to shoot up to the table. Just something different.
I felt like
weird.
the director was just bored making this episode
Yeah.
and was trying to amuse himself.
I don't blame him.
It wasn't a bad choice. It was just a weird choice.
No, it's just different.
Does O'Donnell knock out Alon for you?
No.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate her, but yeah.
She doesn't knock out Dila for me. And again, I don't remember Dila. So...
She was wink of an eye, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another episode I don't remember. But yeah, I tell you, she doesn't knock her out. Yeah, Wink of an Eye, we rated it in the middle, and I'm still...
Yeah, that was
and you refreshed my memory last time, and
that
I
was,
still
the sped up, the people who were sped up. They were, their metabolisms were fat.
Yeah.
So they sped Kirk up, right? Yeah. And then it disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't stick with me. We are breaking the fourth wall and saying we have not seen Let That Be Your Last Battlefield because we're saving it for a live episode. So the last one we watched was Who Gods Destroy. I think this is worse than that.
Really?
I do. Wait, is it? Now I gotta think about it.
I don't know. Now that I think about it, I didn't hate the Human Gods Destroy as much as I thought I would.
You know what? No, this was better than Who Gods Destroy. I'm sorry. That one was really... That's the one I would have ranked at the bottom of the season.
Yeah.
And you were like...
Okay, those other ones I hate.
You let me put it up.
I did.
You let me put it up. Okay, yeah. Where Garth... Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Yeah.
But I hate this one like I hated that one. There just wasn't much to hate in this one.
Yeah, and like I said, it's I don't know, I don't think you ever want to be it's okay.
Yeah. Well, if we're saying this is better than Whom Gods Destroy, the next one up is Spectre of the Gun.
Ooh.
And I think Spectre of the Gun's better.
I know you guys like it better.
I'm not saying it's good.
I can't say I like this one, but I can't say I like this better than Spectre of the Gun either.
So under Spectre of the Gun?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But above Whom Gods Destroy?
Yeah, even though, like I said, I don't like Spectre of the Gun. But Paradise Syndrome is above that, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
slightly above Spectre of the Gun. We'll see.
So it's looking like Paradise Syndrome is becoming the.
I mean, it's six
the dividing
from the
line.
Now. It's six from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wink of an Eye's right above that. So we'll get Let That Be Your Last Battlefield ranked in there, but in the meantime, we're gonna do at least one more episode before we do Let That Be Your Last Battlefield, and that is That Which Survives, where the landing party beams down to investigate a geologically interesting planet. Their ship is hurled across the galaxy. Ooh. Kirk and company find a deserted outpost guarded by the deadly image of a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
So odd that Star Trek would put a beautiful woman in their episodes. It's so rare.
Yes, this is truly a beautiful woman, and I'll save that for next week.
Okay.
But,
yeah, this was a short episode, but honestly, I mean, you're lucky we had this much to say about it.
Yeah, it's another one of those, and we've had them here and there where it's just like, It's just not an interesting episode.
It looks like in That Which Survives, Dr. Mabenga's back.
Yes, so that's
a positive.
that's always interesting.
He was only in, 2 episodes?
I think, yeah, which surprised me. I think when in the last episode he was in, I could have
thought he was in more?
Yeah, I could have swore he was in more.
Yeah, only in 2 episodes. He was in a private little war.
Because I think when me and my siblings would pretend we were on the Enterprise, one of us would inevitably pretend to be Dr. Mabenga.
Really?
Yeah.
Was anybody Bones? How many siblings? Did you have 20 siblings?
Bones would be... No, we would just... we would play different characters, but... Mm-hmm. Yeah, I almost
I feel like you'd have to be rolling pretty deep to get to that.
I almost think when we went to sickbay, McCoy was always on break, and Mabenga was in there.
Well, we just see McCoy leave sickbay a lot.
We just thought Mabenga was the coolest for whatever reason.
He's cool.
Yeah,
he is cool.
We just thought he was awesome.
We'll be back for that in 1 week.
In 1 week.
Every time I feel like every time we say 1 week now, I feel like we're ripping off sister podcasts on the network. It's all been done at Bare Naked Ladies podcast because they always end by saying, "We'll see you in 1 week" because of the Bare Naked Ladies song. 1 week. But
we'll just start opening this by saying it's been 1 week.
It has. See, they got a free shout out without that. I like those guys; they're funny. So enjoy. Oh wait, live long and prosper.
Yeah, live long and prosper.
We almost forgot. It's All Been Done presents.
Who's got the time?